Monty, you have been so instrumental in kind of pointing me in the right direction.
It was about looking at your character defects in spirituality.
It's the integration of clinical practices with the 12 steps.
It's an absolute pleasure. He certainly knows a lot of people. He's got a lot of energy, and sometimes when you don't have so much energy, he picks you up and carries you.
And the Monty Man there certainly helps.
This is one of the places that is about the business of the solution.
The views expressed on this special broadcast of the Take 12 radio show do not necessarily reflect those of KHLT Recovery Broadcasting or its affiliates. KHLT is not affiliated with any particular 12-step fellowship.
Now here's that guy who's getting less popular minute by minute. Your host, the Multi-Man.
Well, greetings, friends and recovery family. Welcome to Take12Radio.com on your internet dial, broadcasting to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, a unique recovery show, Sunday through Saturday. Is that how you say Sunday through Saturday or Monday through Sunday? Or I don't know. So many things change, Leah. I just don't get it anymore with the technology that the young people have. And oh, Lord have mercy. My guest this week, Leah Martensen. She is what I refer to as a recovery recording artist. Her music is phenomenal, and she is going to be sharing some of her experience, strength, and hope, and why in the world she does this thing. She has her newest CD is Who I Really Am. Her website is leahmartensen.com, LeahMartensen.com. Follow the link here at Take12Radio.com. And let me tell you just a little bit about Leah. Realizing that God is not in the business of calling only the equipped, but equipping those he calls. I love that, because God isn't concerned about your abilities. He's concerned about your availability. Leah is the first to state that she is not a typical musician. Quote, I am not looking for fame or stardom, nor am I what stardom is looking for. End quote. And she also says, I have a single message that I tell my story. God is using me in spite of who I've pretended to be sometimes. I've traveled the world telling this story. Who I pretend to be isn't who I really am. I think we all can relate to that on some level. Yes, I certainly can. Leah also says people all over the world are lost. They are hiding who they really are in fear that people won't accept them and that even God won't love them. And I just want to point out just a couple of things. I could list a whole string of stuff, but she's averaging 75 plus engagements per year, singing engagements. She's toured internationally, South Africa, Russia, Finland, Israel, and Canada. She's done backup work with artists like Larnell Harris, Twyla Paris, Sandy Patty, and the Gaithers. She's an affiliate artist with World Vision International. She has radio play both nationally and internationally, and as some of you know, her songs play here at Take12Radio.com. Welcome, Leah, again to Take12 Radio. How are you, my friend?
Good, how are you? I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, you know, you are a very energetic young lady. and I love the picture on the back of your CD. It looks, in our YouTube viewers, you may not be able to make that out very well, but if you go to her website, you can see it. If you get the CD, you can see it. It looks like you have just struck, gold. I mean, it's such an exciting picture. Are you like that?
I've been told that's actually how I am. I had a picture years ago off of a second or third CD that I had this pink outfit on, and I had it on my Facebook page, and every now and then I would get tired of it and take it off, and so people would really get mad at me. I'd get messages saying I needed to put that back on my page because that's how they knew me. And so when I did the new CD project, Who I Really Am, I wanted to have a picture that was fun, that showed and expressed who I was. And so I could kind of change that old picture out. And it seems like that one kind of worked really well because I haven't had any complaints.
Well, most of the people that tune into this show are people that are in recovery, or they're family members of people that are, or they're advocates of. And we do our fair amount of coverage for people that are recording artists. And your music has been something you've been doing for some time. When did you start this thing?
When did I start what?
When did you start singing and recording?
Oh gosh, I've been singing all my life. Like you'd hear most people that are truly in ministry, they'll say, "I've been singing ever since I was a kid," you know.
Yeah.
But I think I actually started ministry, even recovery, but I didn't really realize it. Probably in my 20s, and I don't want to count those years, but I mean like way back when I was really young. I was working at a Christian coffee house back then, and they were coffee houses that were really put in bad neighborhoods. So what they were trying to do was to get people that had been drinking, drug addicts, prostitutes, anybody off the street, sober them up, and hopefully with the music they would hear about Jesus and the love that he had. And I didn't think of it back then as working with recovery. I just thought it was just a local coffee house that was downtown and we were trying to reach people. But, now that I look at it, I've actually been working in recovery for almost all of my ministry years.
Yeah. So
I could say 30 years, maybe.
Okay. So people are probably wondering right now: is Leah a recovering alcoholic or addict? Tell us your story.
Well, no, I am not.
Right.
Although both my parents were alcoholics. My dad, actually, the story that I tell when I'm out in ministry is that my dad actually, when I was 15, hit a car, and he had the choice that he had to make. Either he was going to do a 30-day rehab, or he was going to spend some time in jail, and he chose to do the 30-day rehab. And then both of my parents, when I was at 15, decided that they were going to, do the AA thing, and so I can remember that so vividly because those were like my prime years, and every Saturday night they would be going off to do their AA thing, and I would be like kicking and screaming because I didn't want to go, and I honestly believe that was their problem. You guys have the problem, I don't. Leave me alone, I'm fine. And but we all know that is not the story. And
yeah.
And so then anyhow, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So you primarily were a family member of, and you watched as family members struggled with this thing. Was there ever any fear that maybe something could happen to you? Did you think that, oh my gosh, if I took a drink, maybe something would happen?
Well, yeah, actually I did have a time in my life when I thought that. I remember being in high school, and like a lot of people do in high school, I was kind of living a double life. I was going to church on Sundays, and when I was going to school and on the weekends doing the partying thing, I started doing quite a bit of drinking on the weekends. I don't even think that most people even know that about me, but except for my high school friends who are around. But there was a time, 6 months after my dad had started going through AA and stuff, he was killed in a boating accident.
Oh,
he
boy.
was hit by a guy who was drinking, and the boat flipped, and my dad died that night. And so around that time was a really thinking time for me, and I literally almost got really sick on some strong alcohol, peppermint schnapps, if anybody knows what that is. But
yeah.
And it really did a number on me. I think I came close to having like alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
And it really, really scared me. And that's when I kind of had a turning point where I was like, okay, I either need to be following, the God that I'm following and being the person that I am on Sundays, or I need to, I need to just give it all up and follow the wrong path. And
right.
And so I decided that the drinking just wasn't it just wasn't for me, and I gave it up then and there, and I could see the pattern. I mean, literally, even at that age, I could see that, because it took a lot of alcohol for me. I wasn't some kind of wimpy person that a beer here or there was going to do anything. It took a lot of alcohol, and I can really remember me making a decision that I'm done with this. I just don't want to go down that path. And I actually got known as the girl that always had the bottle of 7-Up, because wherever I'd still go to the parties with my friends and everything, but I just didn't do any of the drinking, and I was the designated driver. And so they would always make sure that they would have this big liter of 7-Up for me.
Well, how kind of them. Okay, well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to listen to, we got 3 songs for the listeners on this show. The first song is called Dear God. But before we play it, when we come back from the break, tell the listeners why you decided to make this CD and who you're trying to reach. So, folks, don't go away. More with our guest, recovery recording artist, and really an accomplished musician, in my opinion, Leah Martensen, when we return.
As men and women who have recovered from utterly hopeless states of addiction ourselves, we know all too well what it's like to battle addiction daily. We are Origins Recovery Centers. Here at Origins, we have taken that which we have learned along the way, excised anything unhelpful and unnecessary, infused it with the latest medical research and innovative therapeutic methods, and created what we know to be the absolute gold standard in substance abuse treatment. And Origins provides the most preeminent aftercare and relapse prevention program available in the United States. For a free confidential clinical assessment, call toll-free 888-843-8935. That's 888-843-8935. Origins, delivering real solutions for real families.
You're listening to KHLT Recovery Broadcasting and the heart and soul of the best in recovery music.
All right, welcome back, listeners. My guest this week, Leah Martensen, a recovery recording artist. Her website is leahmartensen.com, and we're going to be listening to some music from her CD, Who I Really Am. And Leah, tell us why this kind of music.
Well, actually, this new CD that I put out called Who I Really Am is basically, that's it, who I really am. I don't know if you guys have ever heard, if anybody's ever heard of Beth Campion Mason. We go out and we travel all over the place just working with recovery groups. And together we wrote some of these songs based on ideas from my life. There's a lot of true stories in every one of these songs. And I really just wanted to do something that was open and honest and talk about some of the struggles that I have. I think sometimes when we're Christians, we're supposed to have it all together.
Right.
Or at least we feel like we're supposed to have it all together. And there are times that I really question God. I question some of the things that He's done, why He loves me. I question a lot of stuff, or, you know, something that somebody's done to me. I really wanted to have a CD that was purely me and things that I struggled with, things that I had joy over. I just really wanted something realistic, and I wanted something fresh and new. I didn't necessarily want it to have a whole bunch of Christian-y stuff in it. I just wanted something that kind of portrayed who I was, how God created me, and I mess up sometimes.
Yeah, and we have this thing within the 12-step fellowships, this term we call people. We call them normies, people that aren't afflicted or affected by alcoholism and addiction and that kind of thing. But the truth of the matter is, and people know me well enough to know that I believe this, there are no normies. I mean, we all have something that tries to knock us down, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But, I hit recovery in 2 different ways. First of all, I'm the child of 2 alcoholic parents. There's a lot, even today, I still struggle with some of the things with my dad's driving. Understanding when I was a kid that something wasn't right and his he wasn't driving properly, and I'd be scared to death. If we get in a certain situation today, and I'm in a certain area or in a car, and I don't have control of that car, and somebody else does, I start getting really anxious because I start flashing back to some of that stuff when I was a kid.
Sure.
So sometimes it's just better that I have the control of the car rather than someone, especially if it's raining out. I just get really anxious over stuff like that. And I know that it goes back to my childhood because I've never been in a bad accident or anything like that. I just know that I just get that feeling of when I was a child and my dad, had been drinking. But the other part of it is I have some issues because of certain things in my past. I mean, I think we all have stuff that we need to recover from, and the obvious a lot of times is drug and alcohol. But even if you're addicted to drugs or alcohol, once you get past that and you sober up and you're clean, even for a little while, you start to see that there were some things that you were trying to escape from. Those things come back. Sometimes it's another illness. Sometimes, like for my mom, it's being bipolar. Or from other people, loneliness. Or whatever it is, I mean, you're still back to recovering. You still need to recover from that, too. And that's where I kind of hit it. I mean, I've had not a lot of issues, but I've had a few issues with my relationship with God and how I see Him and how can I trust Him when, maybe I didn't trust my mom as much because, she struggled with being bipolar.
Right.
And, when you're struggling with something like that, you treat your children or the people that are around you based on whatever your emotions are for the day. So every day could be a different day, a different person, And so I when I got older, I realized that I was kind of having these issues with God and not believing that He was actually going to be there for me because I didn't really feel like my mom was there for me.
You bet.
So what was it that I was going to do that He was going to walk away from me? And I really had to come to this crossroads and just believe that that nothing was going to get in the way between my relationship of Christ and me. So the first song we're going to listen to, "Dear God," does that reflect this? Yeah, I really wanted a song that I could sing directly to God, and people. I would ask some serious questions that people wouldn't come right out and say. And, I would question the way that He designed me, the way I think, the way I look. I would question my life. I would question why He loved me. Did he make me, I felt sometimes that He made me wrong. And then there was other times that I thought, do you think He made me wrong? Made me with all my imperfections and things. And I honestly just feel like that He messed up on me. And, I mean, there are times that I feel that. I don't feel that all the time, but I feel that. But no matter what, I have to look at it and turn it around because I know that He made me beautiful and He made me capable and He made me lovable and savable and unshakable. And that's the one thing is I love the word unshakable. I mean, a lot of people flew themselves to the beautiful, but I love the unshakable because I want to make sure that nothing can get to me, that I can get through anything and everything that He needs me to get through, and I always stand by unshakable.
Well, here is Leah Martensen's song, "Dear God."
Dear God, I don't want to insult your design, but I must admit that there are times when I wonder if you didn't mess up on me. 'Cause there are days when I look around my life and all I see are the ways that it's not right. And I wonder what the heck is wrong with me. And I wonder what is it that But I'm so grateful that you never gave up on me. Because you say I am beautiful and capable. You say I am lovable and savable. You say that in you I am unshakable. Help me feel Lord.
Dear God by Leah Martensen. Leah, did Beth help you on that?
I'm sorry?
Did Beth Champion Mason help you on that song?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she's quite the gal, isn't she?
Yes, she's amazing. I love her. I love her like a sister.
We got to get her on the show. You guys you're part of a Christian diva thing. Tell us about that.
Well, Christian Divas is actually a big cover-up for recovery. We started Christian Divas a long time ago, another artist and I, way back when, and it started out as a network of Christian female artists. We used to help them, support them if they were out on the road. We would, we were someplace they could go if they ever needed any help, and we had a Yahoo group and everything. And over the years, it just kept developing and changing, and the internet got, more frequent, and you didn't need Yahoo groups as much like you did back then. And then all of a sudden, it kind of developed into doing concerts together, and so we would rotate artists, and we would do women's concerts, and basically we would take our Road to Recovery tour, and we would kind of intermingle it with familiar things that women kind of knew, like songs like I Can See Clearly Now and Lean on Me, and we would share the same stories that we shared when we were out on recovery, and Beth became my partner in that a few years ago, and then she's just now stepped down from that because she can't go on the road as much, and so we're still going to do some recovery stuff together. But basically, the whole program for Christian Divas is all about, we're not divas, although don't we all have a diva or divo moment? And really we do. And that's the whole point of the Christian Divas. And we go in and we share stories that we would not be able to share, that people wouldn't be able to hear because they wouldn't go to a recovery meeting. And so we basically share our stories, our trials, our failures, and we want to go in there and encourage them to kind of fess up to what it is they've got in their life that they need to get rid of and use it to reach others for Christ. Just tell your story because people need to hear that you have the joy of the Lord. There's a lot of people that like to share what they've been through and their trials and things, but they never get past that. They never really move on.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people. I mean, there was a thing I used to say a long time ago. I don't know how many years it hasn't been on, but there used to be this celebrity rehab, you know.
Right.
So people would go in there and they get, you know, they might get fixed, but, you know, they would leave and they were still all really messed up because they didn't, you know, they just didn't have their faith and they didn't have Christ to lean on, and we can make that happen. And so I'm just basically that's what Christian Divas is all about. It's about healing people who don't yet know that they need to be healed.
Yeah, amen to that. Amen to that. You have this song, Who I Pretend to Be. I really like this because we all put on a facade, don't we? I mean, you know, we're one person at work, we're one person at home, we're one person at our recovery group, we're one person at church. Talk about this song before we play it.
Well, first of all, I had nothing to do with the writing of this song. Beth Champion Mason wrote this song. And she sent it to me one day, and we were working, just starting to talk about working on my new CD, who, by the way, she produced my last CD. And she sent me over this song and wanted me to hear it, and I just completely could relate to it. And I knew it was a new song for her, and I didn't think she would let me put it on this new CD, but I just said, I heard the words, and I just really broke down, and I'm like, this is me. I need to have this song on my CD, and so anyhow, when I asked her, I said, can I have this, you know, song for my CD? It really seems like something that I would have written, and of course she said, yeah, she had no problem with me using it, but you know, I could just really relate to sometimes people not really caring about what I think, or caring about who I am, or caring about me as an artist, or, you know, that sometimes I have to be that happy person that everybody sees me to be, even on my bad days. And you know, one of the things I hate is if I'm going down the street or something and someone comes up to you and says, smile, it can't be all that bad. And I think, you know, sometimes I used to think, Kitty, can I have a moment where I don't have a smile plastered on my face? That is, you know, I mean, I used to really be upset when people would go, smile, it can't be all that bad.
Right.
I just really took those moments personal because inside I just think I was struggling with the fact that I always have to be somebody, and even though I have flaws, people don't want to see them. They just want to see who I am on the surface, and sometimes I just get tired of putting on that smile or just being that surface person. Or, you know, last night I was doing a concert in Alabama, you know, and, you know, I made a comment, you know, I don't make comments on political things. I don't make comments on certain issues because if I do, that just splits my world, you know, like nobody really wants to know. And sometimes I don't really even want to know what people think about certain things, you know, but, you know, sometimes I can't be open and honest about things that I really have an opinion on. And that's basically what this song's about, is just my struggle with, you know, who I pretend to be. But no matter what, God sees through all of that. So he gets the good and the bad and the ugly with me. I don't even have to tell him. He knows it. He knows my brain. He knows what I'm thinking. You know, he knows what I want to say when I have to keep my mouth shut. And still, no matter what, he loves me. He loves me true, and he'll never leave me.
Amen. Here is the song written by Beth Champion Mason, sung by Leah Martensen. I just love this. Who I Pretend to Be.
Sometimes I feel like I'm walking through life in a disguise. Yeah, gotta put my best foot forward, strength on display, flaws minimized. And even when my heart is breaking, gotta plaster on a smile. 'Cause it seems like the whole world's waiting just to find something to criticize. But you see who I really am, not who I pretend to be. You look past the obvious, deep down to the secret heart of me. You love me, not who I pretend to be. Every day I hear to be. You look past the obvious, deep down to the secret heart of me. You see who I really am, not who I pretend to be. You look past the obvious, deep down to the secret heart of me. You love me, yeah. You love me, not who I pretend to be. Who I pretend to be. Who I pretend to be.
Leah Martensen singing Who I Pretend to Be by Beth Champion Mason. And we'll be right back. More with our guest, Leah Martensen, when we come back.
Treatment does not have to be voluntary to be effective. Sanctions and enticements from family, employment settings, and or the criminal justice system can significantly increase treatment entry, retention rates, and the ultimate success of drug treatment interventions. Freedom Interventions provides the direction necessary to get the help of an addiction intervention. We assist with selecting a treatment experience appropriate for the unique needs of your addicted loved one, and provide 6 months of ongoing support to ensure success for everyone involved in the transition into real life. If you know someone who needs a life-saving intervention, visit freedominterventions.com or call 888-762-7557. That's 888-762-7557. Freedom Interventions, providing drug and alcohol interventions and a continuum of care services to clients and their families.
Serenity Springs Recovery Center, located on the beautiful east coast of Florida. A unique facility that is committed to providing exceptional individual care in small group settings while utilizing their experienced and dedicated clinical and support staff of licensed therapists and doctors. Visit their website, serenityspringsrecovery.com, or call 386-423-4540. Serenity Springs, making a life-changing investment into your recovery.
Welcome back, friends and family, to our show this week here at Take12Radio.com on your internet dial. We're broadcasting to you from the studios of KHLT Recovery Broadcasting on the outskirts of beautiful downtown Albany, Oregon, bringing to you a unique recovery-focused show every day of the week. We are still the world's only faith-based recovery program, a radio program broadcasting a different show every day of the week, plus recovery and positive music. And there are some other folks that are jumping on that bandwagon that do maybe a show once a week or a couple times a week, and we are just so supportive of them. We want you to know about people like Malcolm Hicks on the Higher Power Hour and Recovery Rock, and people like Joseph Gansey, who is the owner and broadcaster for Rum Radio. Folks like that. We want you to know about Steppin' Out Radio. We want you to know about these folks because there's not enough going on in media when it comes to recovery, because we have misunderstood the anonymity tradition within our 12-step fellowships. Anonymity does not mean secrecy. It does not. You are not breaking any anonymity traditions if you are sharing your personal story of experience, strength, and hope. And you can do that without being program specific. And we don't want to be hiding in the basements of our churches and our meeting centers, keeping the solution all to ourselves. The reason there's not enough evidence out there to the real world that recovery works is because we've kept it a secret. And what we aim to do here at Take12Radio.com is to release that thing so people can know, so people can recover from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. Leah Martensen, our guest this week, has done a tremendous job, Beth Champion Mason as well, in contributing to what I refer to as the solution to the addiction malady. And really, Leah, wouldn't you agree that our problem really is our separation from God, and that's why our lives are unmanageable?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You said it perfectly. You summed it all up in one sentence.
Yeah. And you know, we're in the process of developing a support system at our church, and we go to a rather large church. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to create another program where we're sitting around talking about our day, you know.
Right.
And I like that. I think it was Chuck Swindoll's program, Steps to Victory, that said we admitted we were powerless over our separation from God, and that's really where it comes down to. You have been traveling and singing for quite a while. Some of the names that I mentioned, Larnell Harris, Twyla Paris, Sandy Patty, the Gaithers, you know, these are the movers and shakers in the Christian gospel world. What's it like rubbing shoulders with these folks?
You know, that right there shows my age. because I don't even know how to explain being able to sing backups for Larnell and for the Gaithers and a little bit for Sandy Patty. I used to travel in a choir that we would travel all over. We went to Israel, and we went to Russia, and we went to Finland, and we went to different places. And Larnell was a part of that. He came out of our group, actually, from Detroit. Michigan is where I was taking part in that. And I loved doing some backups for Larnell. One of the secrets is I used to be, because I was so short, I'd be right smack in the middle of any stage because you went for height, so I always ended up in the middle.
Right.
And if Larnell would turn around and look at me at all, when he sings, he's got massive amount of spirit. And so I had to learn how to keep my eyes from blinking. Because he would just kind of spit right in my face all the time. And so I had to somehow learn to get past that shock of having that, spit flying in my, it's just an automatic reflex that you have. But, I enjoyed those times when I was able to, work with those guys. And, he's a phenomenal singer, and he's still out there. I think he's connected now with, the Gaithers, and they do the Gaither Hour stuff too.
Right,
so.
right. Well, that's funny. It's great to hear stories like that about people we followed and listened to for years. Larnell's a spitter. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, this last song we're going to hear, and by the way, listeners, you can hear Leah's music on our music sets. This last song, Good Day. It's nice to have one of those once in a while, isn't it? Hopefully we have more than one a week, but sometimes we go through life and the week just doesn't seem to spit out one of those good days. And I always tell people days aren't good or bad; they're just a calendar date. But for the sake of not arguing about semantics, we can have days that seem to just fall down around us. And when we have a good one where things just seem to fit, all the puzzles fit into place, we definitely should not forget to thank God for those, correct?
Yeah. Good Day kind of came out of an idea that I had that it actually is a deeper song than it looks. Beth and I were on the road, and I just said, you know what, I want to write a song where, when people are at their lowest, they get up the next day and they're hoping that they're not still there in that lowest part. And sometimes people's low isn't just a 24-hour thing. I think some people forget that a lot of people go, well, they need to hit rock bottom and then they'll, everything will be better and they'll finally work themselves up and stuff. But some people are at rock bottom for a really long time. And I just wanted to put something together that said that when you're trying to seek the Lord and you're still within your problem, which you can still be there. I mean, you can still ask for His help and be so low that, you're not even sure if you can really reach Him. But you get up the next day and it's the same day. It's like you're still at that low, but you're still trying, and you're trying to grasp him, and you're hoping that maybe tomorrow you'll be just a little bit closer to, being able to grab him, and so you do this for, day in and day out, and you're starting to lose hope, but then one day you wake up, and you see this pinhole, just a pinhole of a light, and that's all you needed to change your journey around. And as you see that pinhole, it gives you hope, and you can finally take a breath and go, yeah, it's going to be a good day. And that's where the song started. It's just from pinhole, and from there it just keeps getting better.
Yeah. Excellent. And for the listeners' sake, on December 11th, we're giving away our grand prize, $300 worth of recovery goodies in a recovery basket to some lucky winner in our cartoon caption contest. So on December 11th, you're going to get that. And Leah has been so gracious to donate her CD, Who I Really Am, with this song, Good Day, on it, as a matter of fact. And the other two songs that you've heard already will be in that recovery package. So without further ado, here is Good Day. Good day, Leah Martensen. You can visit her website at leahmartensen.com. They can pick up your CD there as well, right, Leah?
Yep, you sure can. You can get all my CDs on my site.
Yeah, you got. Now, how many CDs you have out now?
I have 4 full ones and an EP.
Wow, that's a lot of work, and something that I think a lot of people don't realize. You're not getting rich off these things. These things cost a lot of money to produce, correct?
Yes. You very rarely make your money back on them.
Yeah. It's definitely a labor of love. And we appreciate you so much. And Beth, too, when you see her next, please tell her that we love her. In fact, when we go out the air, I want to get some contact information from you. It's one thing to talk about our day. It's one thing to talk about our issues. It's one thing to tell war stories and all that kind of stuff. But it's a whole other thing to be focused on the solution. And, if you really want to recover, if you don't always want to be in a state of recovering, I know we're recovering from selfishness and self-centeredness and our character defects. I know that's an ongoing thing. But there are certain things that we can recover from. And the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous says we've recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. Seemingly is a big word. In other words, you're not hopeless. It just appears that way. You may feel that way. Your behaviors may say that loud and clear to people that you're hopeless. But the bottom line is God loves you. You're His kid. Mm-hmm. And isn't that the truth, Leah? I mean, really, we hide from God, but He's our dad.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, there's nowhere we can go. There's nothing that we can say. There's nothing that we can do that He doesn't already know.
Right.
We can't get rid of Him. There's no way that we can get rid of Him. We can join Him, and we need to understand that He's there for us and that He wants to heal us from whatever it is that we have an issue with. I mean, recovery isn't something... I think that there are parts where we recover throughout our life because sin is always going to be rampant
exactly.
and die.
Exactly.
So in that aspect, but there are so many things that He can give us. He can give us joy, and He can give us peace. We just have to remember that we need to take our stuff, our things that are causing us issues in our life, and we need to give them over to Him, and we need to allow Him to be who He is and to be in our life in the way that He wants to be in our life.
Yeah. Why do you think it's so hard for people to just say yes to Jesus?
Well, I can speak for myself, and I mean, I say yes to Jesus all the time, but there's a humanism in me that wants to do everything. I want to fix everything. I'm a big girl. I'm a first child. I want to, I want to take care of everything. I can do it myself. I don't need any help.
Right.
See, sometimes I get to the very lowest before I actually ask for simple help.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I don't need to be waiting that long. And I think we get that way. We just forget to, we think that we can get ourselves out of all the problems that we got ourselves into. And sometimes we just need to stop and just let Him tell us what He wants us to do next rather than us just responding. And I know I'm really quick to respond before I'm quick to listen.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And then I beat myself up afterwards, and God doesn't want me to do that either. He just wants me to come to Him and receive His mercy.
Yeah.
Well, Leah, thank you for joining us and taking the time again to come on the show. It's been a long time since we've had you on, way too long, and I don't want that much time to go by again. So you'll come on again, right?
Oh, absolutely. And thank you for everything that you do for recovery and actually for the Christian community, and just reaching out to us and giving us support and being able to use our gifts for recovery and for the radio and getting our message out there, because we all want to see people draw closer to Christ. And I just appreciate that you're doing your part to make that happen.
Well, thank you so much. God bless your heart. Folks, it's been a real joy. My special thanks to Leah Martensen today. for coming on the show. Her website, leahmartensen.com, LeahMartensen.com. Follow the link here at Take 12 Radio. You can pick up all of her CDs there. If you've entered the cartoon caption contest, you may even win the recovery package that has her CD in it. And we want you to know, folks, that we're here for you. We may not always have all the answers. We may not know everything. In fact, I'm finding out that the more I learn, the more I realize I didn't know all that much for a very long time, and I'm continuing to learn. But we want to pray for you. We want to encourage you that God is on your side. He's got your six, as the military would say. He's got your back, and He is available and always willing for you to come. He's got open arms. He loves you unconditionally. Give Him a chance. Yeah, give Him a chance. Leah, thank you. And folks, don't forget our email address, take12radio@comcast.net. Don't hang up, Leah. I want to talk to you after the show. Folks, until our next broadcast, this is the Multi-Man, along with my guest, Leah Martensen, and we're wishing God's perfect serenity for you. Bye-bye now.
This has been a broadcast of KHLT Recovery Broadcasting.